As the year comes to a close, I like to look back on the drawings that I made, not only for this year, but the years before, taking the time to look at the areas that I've improved and what in the future I need to work on. So without further ado, let's have a look, shall we? The first thing I like to look at is the amount of general sketching that I've done. For the past 3 years, not including 2024, I mostly drew what came to mind. Anytime I felt like drawing or passing the time, I would open up a file and doodle random ideas that came to mind. For the year 2024, my mindset shifted from just using it with ideas in my head, but instead using it as a learning ground to practice things I wanted to get a better grasp of. It became more like a sandbox where I can experiment without having to produce finished drawings. Originally, I set out to draw at least one page a day, but that was unrealistic to the point where I had art block for most of the year. But I'm happy to say after starting to relax on my previous goal, I was able to draw a total of 376 pages for the year, the highest number that I have to date. I even started a traditional art sketchbook as well. Now let's have a look at my final artworks. 2021 was the year that I started taking digital art seriously. That being said, I only had 3 pieces to show for it, the first being a drawing of my character Sakura, and then there was a still life of a Kirby figure that I have on my shelf. What I can say from the beginning of this year is that I was very into textured line art, which quickly died out with the final piece that I made for the year being a newspaper/manga inspired drawing of my character Mei. The year 2022 started with me continuing the trend of making those manga pages, but instead of my characters, I made them for friends as birthday gifts. I don't feel all that comfortable sharing the full design, but here are a few bits and pieces of my favorite parts of each drawing. Also starting this year was me starting to draw my characters with backgrounds. All of these still remained monochromatic in the coloring style, but that was about to change. 2023 was the year that I started continuing the trend of drawing different characters with backgrounds, but this time using the full use of the coloring wheel. I also rediscovered old artworks which inspired me to create manga pages of it, but also to draw a recent image in that same old style. I also started this year by doing different angles and poses. My drawings became character focused, with my favorite drawing being of the year, Crystal watching her photos blowing away in the wind, and my main character of my story standing next to Sakura, with a pop of color behind them with their respective colors. I really love the red and blue combo. 2024, I continued the trend of practicing colors, really focusing on making the colors pop rather than making each piece muted in their tones. This is also the year I continued the character-focused mindset. I also spent the year trying different art subjects, such as landscapes, stained glass, and ensuring that characters would fit into the backgrounds they were placed in. This is also the year I both started and completed my first ever Inktober list, which helped me out with the color choices and trying to be more dynamic with my poses. And for the year, my favorite artworks would have to be Crystal showing off her baking skills, and my favorite character, Chaos, as a stained glass window pane. For the year 2025, I don't know what will happen for this year, no one does, and we can only focus on what we can do. So with that being said, I have 3 art-related goals for the new year. The first is to focus on more of drawing a story rather than just a character with a rectangle behind them. The second is I want to start my own webcomic, which leads me straight into my third goal, which is this channel. My goal is to make a minimum of 2 videos a month, with at least one of those being related to the progress of my webcomic. I want to document my journey, not only to keep myself in check, but to look back upon in the year 2026. So if you're interested in my journey, please consider subscribing. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye!